All right, folks, today I'm going to do a walkthrough and review of the yakgadget QuickScope. It's a forward-facing sonar transducer pole mount. I've been using it for about 6 weeks. I went and fished the KBF National Championship all last week in Alabama. So I've had it out on the water a good bit and just want to share my experiences for anybody else considering purchasing this transducer pole. I have this mounted on the side of my nucanoe Unlimited. This thing comes with a 40-inch PVC shaft, an 1.25 inch diameter. It allows you to run your transducer cable up through the center of the shaft. It helps keep it out of the way and keep from getting caught on anything. And then also here it hinges and allows it to kick up anytime you do have it deployed into the water, run into anything. It would kick up and reduce the likelihood of damaging your transducer. The quality and the durability, same as anything else I've ever used from yakgadget. It's been rock solid, and so far seems to be no different. So when I'm cruising around from spot to spot, the kick-up feature allows for the transducer to be deployed as well as stowed when you're done using it. I was able to make this out of some Yak Attack as well as Railblazer parts to create a place to rest the transducer whenever I do have it stowed. It sits right there. And then additionally, since I was using this Railblazer part, I'm able to strap this down and drive down the road. So now to talk about the cons of this, and really they're more just improvements. A lot of times when I am cruising by a spot, sometimes I don't want to completely stop, go in, deploy it, look around. Sometimes I just want to do a quick drive-by. You know, obviously you do have to slow down a little bit, but if you don't slow down a lot with this thing, that water pushing against the transducer pole will kick it up, and then obviously you can't look. I think having some kind of locking mechanism to lock it down in place for situations like that would be a helpful addition. Probably going to try and DIY something myself in the meantime, but I think that would be an improvement. Now the next thing that I think would be a good improvement, some kind of padding beneath the free sliding collar that goes between the adjustable collar and the base of where the shaft is actually connected. And the reason some padding would be helpful is because a lot of times you're focused, you're pulling up on a spot, you're trying to be stealthy, you don't want to spook anything, but you also want to get close, and then you grab this thing and you go to deploy it, and that. I think some padding with an adhesive on it on the bottom side of that free sliding collar would help minimize and dampen that sound when it slides down. Last thing I'll talk about is these bolts right here that allow the shaft of the transducer pole to hinge and move from position to position. What I found after my first few outings was each time that you deploy and stow this thing, when it rotates each way, it was backing that bolt out. And then one morning I got to the boat ramp and this thing was gone. I went and got myself some Loctite thread lock, put it on there, tightened it just enough that allowed me to still freely move it from position to position. And since then, that thing's been rock solid and hasn't moved. Now, all in all, I think this is a great transducer pole, especially for the money. I think it does everything that you want it to do. The few improvements, cons that I mentioned are relatively minor compared to the value that you get from this thing. If anybody's had any different experiences, ran into any different problems with it, please share them below. I'm sure I'll run into it eventually, and I would appreciate any insight. Thanks for watching.